Welcome to Amaka Intellectual Factory, where I host podcasts and many other interesting stuff. I'm gonna be playing a video of a South Asian man deliberately obfuscating the truth about activist judges and how Pam Bondi, the best U.S. Attorney General America has ever had, was able to uphold justice for America despite their judicial activism.
There was a political showdown in New Jersey yesterday, and no, Bruce Springsteen didn't call out Trump again. New Jersey federal judges rejected Trump's personal lawyer, Alina Habba, from continuing to be the state's top prosecutor and named a replacement. But then, Attorney General Pam Bondi fired Habba's replacement and attacked the judges. This showdown has everything: the politicization of our justice system, the government defying the courts, and yeah, it could even have downstream effects on you. Let me explain. So in March, Trump named Habba, who was his personal lawyer, to be acting U.S. attorney for New Jersey. He said on Truth Social that the decision was effective immediately. Habba was sworn in the White House 4 days later, so because Habba was named interim U.S. attorney, she only had a 120-day term. And during that term, she took a very nonpartisan role at the Justice Department and became one of President Trump's most loyal prosecutors. She targeted Democrats like New Jersey's governor and the state's attorney general over a policy that limits local police and federal immigration officers from working together. She also charged Newark's mayor and a congresswoman after a clash with federal immigration agents outside a Newark detention center. Habba had to remove the trespassing charge against the Newark mayor, which led to a federal judge publicly reprimanding her office. But Habba's term is almost up, and her track record has been polarizing, because she appears to be going after Trump's enemies. Apparently, Habba tried to convince the judges that she was competent enough to extend her term, but they opted for a replacement. Desiree Lee Grace, a career prosecutor and Habba's first assistant, which federal judges can legally do. But then, Bondi stepped in. She said the DOJ fired the replacement Grace and attacked the rogue judges who tried to curtail the president's powers. By the way, the district's chief judge, Renee Marie Baum, was nominated by a Republican, former President George W. Bush. Now, there's a lot of confusion right now about who will actually be the U.S. attorney and whether the judge's decision will go into effect, given the replacement was fired. The more concerning point here is that this is another clash between the Trump administration and the courts, and whether the executive branch will actually respect the legislative branch. This is part of America's system of checks and balances, and the Justice Department is taking steps to keep that historically nonpartisan New Jersey seat as being one for a Trump loyalist. One that Habba has shown will prosecute those perceived to be working against Trump's agenda, and the person on the receiving end of that could be anybody.
It's really unfortunate how this Indian man twists the truth. Why should judges pass laws preventing police officers from working with ICE? This is actually coming after the DOJ was able to secure a Supreme Court ruling that said district judges did not have jurisdiction over federal issues. The typical understanding here is that they lack jurisdiction on anything that concerns ICE. And this Indian guy kept on calling Alina Habba a Trump loyalist. People have also called Pam Bondi a Trump loyalist as well. Every time I hear this Trump loyalist thing, it reminds me of the nature of manipulative or Obanje people. You should visit my website for my articles on Obanje people. Pretty much psychopaths, from the most subtle to the outright crazy ones. This is how they reason. They don't want you to defend yourself. They don't want you to protect yourself. They want you vulnerable so that they can dominate and manipulate you. But when you take steps to protect yourself, it throws them off and they hate it. They like your nakedness, your vulnerability. They don't want you educated and informed. They like to watch you fall for their tricks. But once you are aware of their sadistic agenda and guard yourself against them, they can't stand it. Even the Bible asks, can two walk together unless they agree? So essentially, this Indian man wants Trump to appoint people that would be treacherous and insubordinate, because those who agree with President Trump are loyalists, right? This is the way they think. There is still a connection between Indians and other South Asians with Hamitic people. It's still the same usual suspects that are responsible for all the problems we have had in the world since the beginning of time. A couple of years ago, I read a book titled Aphrodisiacs and Love Stimulants, with other chapters on the secret of Venus by John Davenport. John Davenport wrote a great deal about phallic symbolism and the role Indian men played in promoting phallic symbolism globally in ancient times. I don't want to go too deep, but this history, along with other ancient history, play a major role with what is happening in America today. We better pray for the continuous success of the Trump administration, because if these people take over America, that would be the end of the world. I didn't say the end of the world as we know it, but the end of the world. Well, that is all I have to say for now. Until next time, take care of your lovely selves. And remember, life is beautiful and worth living.